go and stalk your competitors. This is one of the most underutilized things. But if you go on Facebook and have a look at your competitors or look at people that you aspire to be like on Facebook, you most certainly are going to learn a thing or two about what it is that you like or dislike and what your point of difference is, so that you can bring your point of difference to the forefront so that you can stand out over and above them.
This is the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast for entrepreneurs and business owners looking for cool online tools, apps and strategies to make business easy online. My name is Nick Cree and I'm your host. Each episode features a guest expert demystifying the online universe, sharing inspirational ideas and providing tested real-world strategies to help you get the most of what's available online to grow your business today. Don't be a slave to your business, get your business working for you. Subscribe now and get some great content and ideas for you and your business today. All right, well, at this point, I would like to welcome Chantal Gerardy. Some of you may know Chantal. She is synonymous with Lou. She's the Facebook expert. She's helped a lot of businesses, not just in the Gold Coast and Brisbane, but throughout Australia. She even went to Tasmania to help people in their businesses down there. So she's a Facebook expert. I've been trying to get her here for a long time, and tonight we have the privilege of having her. So for all of those that did show up tonight, you're in for a treat. So welcome, Chantal, and it's over to you.
Hello, and thank you for letting me have a word in Edgeways, Nick. I've been self-combusting here behind the scenes.
I could see you.
For those who do know me, I love talking, and when I called Nick before this presentation, I said, we're going to seriously struggle trying to give each other turns to talk. But I love Nick, and I love everything that he has to say, and he's adding so much value to everyone, and no matter how often you listen to him, there's always something valuable that comes out of his mouth. There's always something worth taking on board and applying towards your business, which is really, really super cool. So thank you to everybody for coming tonight. I struggle in the evenings, and I'll probably struggle to get to sleep after this because I get excited. But really, really excited to be here today to help everybody learn how you can get fast and free results on Facebook. Fast and free. Who would like fast and free? Raise your hand. Because it is possible. Here's the thing, okay? Everyone, and I mean, I heard this twice in sales calls from potential clients. They said, the first person who said to me that I don't need to have to pay for ads. And I'm like, you don't. And in fact, if you do not have your organic strategy down packed, meaning if you're not already generating clients for free on Facebook, it doesn't matter whether or not you throw $1 million at it or whether or not you lift your skirt up. It's not going to change anything, okay? So as I talk, because I just talk and I'm just crazy, please, any questions in the chat box, please feel free to write questions in the chat box. What I will do, if it will let me, is I will move across to my PowerPoint presentation. It's really cool to see so many amazing people on here, and I cannot wait to actually see everyone in person again. All right, so share screen, there we go. Cool bananas. Fast and free. Yeah, baby. Fast and the Furious. Okay. All right, so let's start with some did you knows, because everybody loves statistics, all right? And everyone always says to me, why Facebook? So here we go. 93% of small businesses prefer Facebook because it's fun, engaging, and entertaining, all right? So I thought, okay, well, maybe you're not going to believe that. But 67% of marketers find Facebook to be their most important social media channel. 67% of marketers. Now then I handle the B2B, because all the B2B people go, no, we don't use Facebook. Well, 43% of B2B marketers also named Facebook as their most important advertising channel, passing LinkedIn. There are 2.8 billion monthly active users on Facebook, so I'm almost certain your client is going to be on there. There are over 60 million active business pages, but only 6 million do paid advertising. Now, this is really interesting. The average advert click-through rate is only 0.9%. I'm going to let you sleep on that one today, 0.9%. People access Facebook about 8 times each day. So if you're brave enough, in the comment box, in the chat box, just write whether or not you think that you use Facebook, you check into Facebook 8 times a day, more or less. But come on, be brave, put it in the comments box, let us know. 51% of millennials can't go 5 hours without checking Facebook. Facebook users make 2 billion searches every month. So people are on there searching for you. 500 million Facebook users are using the platform to watch videos every day. 500 million per day. Wow, on video. And at the moment, Facebook use is up by 70%. Why? Because they're all at home and they're all unemployed. But they're all at home. And the thing is, so they're all on Facebook. So the good news is that there's more people on Facebook, so you can be in front of more people. The bad news is that there are more people on Facebook, which means you're competing against more people, which means you really do have to have an outstanding online presence if you want to stand out. I did sneak this little one in over here only because I love the statistic about how Facebook is so far up on it, although it is a US survey. But you can see there that people are searching on YouTube, 73%, Facebook's at 69, good old 69, and Instagram down at 37, and your other platforms down below. Just in case you didn't believe that Facebook is the preferred choice. But what I want to first help you with is understanding the full capabilities of the platform. So everyone thinks they know how to use Facebook. And this to me is the best sort of way to explain it. When you start a Facebook profile, you can have one personal profile, which is yours, and it is attached to one email. Now, how people end up with multiple platforms is usually not because they've been hacked, but because they've made a mistake, and instead of logging in, they have actually created a whole new profile, which is a true story. And then they phone me and they tell me they've been hacked, but they actually haven't been hacked. They've just created accidentally a whole new profile. Because it's one email per one profile, okay? Your personal profile is private unless you make it public, okay? So you can decide on this, which is really cool. Now on your personal profile, we call it friends, and you're limited to 5,000 friends. And this is one of the reasons why we really shouldn't be creating a business page as a personal profile. So I'm going to use the right language, so I hope that you can understand as I go along. There is a section there for your bio. So I want you to just think for a minute if you filled out all these things on your personal profile. But there's a section there for your bio. You can fill in your contact details. However, please don't put your address as public, your home address. Please do not. Your business details are there as well. Your digital links. And again, you can decide what is private or what is public. You have featured photos which come up first when you are using it on your mobile phone. Your relationship status is there, and that can be private or public, and you can either attach or not attach yourself to your partner in your relationship status. Your location is there, and as I said, do not put in your home address, but maybe that's the South African in me. And family members. Facebook created the family members feature, which I'm against. Because if you came across somebody crazy on Facebook, because there's all the haters on there, and they were trying to get at you, they could then access your family members in your personal profile. So I encourage you to go in and actually remove your family members, because guess what? You know who they are. There's no need to show Facebook people who your family members are. You don't want somebody attacking your 93-year-old grandmother on social media or hitting on her. There is life events as well. There's a feature called life events, which is really cool. It ends up being a real collection of all your certifications, and when you were in the newspaper and any awards that you've won, you can actually collect all of those in your life events in your personal profile. You can check in. Don't check in at home, please. There's an events feature, which is private. You have your privacy settings. So everybody seems to think that everything's public on your personal profile, but it's not. You can determine every single aspect of it, what is going to be private or public. You can tag people. You can message people. There's Facebook Story, which is their equivalent of Snapchat, which I'll explain a little bit later. You have profile preferences. You can put in a favorite quote, which some of you may not know about. Details about you, which I encourage you to put in there, because if someone is stalking you, you want to make sure that your little bio and your little details about you and all your links are in there and they have access to it, especially if you're working on growing your personal branding. Your birthday's in there, which sends the algorithm going crazy on your birthday when everyone wishes you. So that is the time for you to actually make that is the time for you to turn on the feature for people to post on your profile. All right, so let's talk now about your business page. Now you can have unlimited business pages and they are public. Now, the more business pages you have, the less time you'll have, because they're all going to need looking after and they're all going to require strategies. So I encourage you to have as few business pages as possible because they are going to require work. Now, these are called fans and they are unlimited. You can have as many fans as you like on your business page. There's also a review section, which you now can turn off. So in the olden days, which was about 6 months ago, you couldn't do that, but now you can actually turn off the review tab. However, many people buy from looking at the reviews, at your reviews. There's a click to contact button, which is super important because it makes it they can easily accessible. You see, this is why I'm bad at night. Nick, I've finished talking. I've lost all my words. It can make it easily accessible for people to contact you. Physical address. And again, please do not put in your home address. For example, gyms. If you have a gym from home, do not put in your physical address. Rather, if someone's using your services, send it to them privately, but you do not want it public. Page story, which is the same as your story, is just the same equivalent as Snapchat, which I will talk about later. And it is governed by a response rate, meaning that the quicker you are to respond to messages, the higher up on the list Facebook will rank you when people want to contact you. There are 3 search categories, which are shitty. They're not great. The first one you put in is the most important because you have to use the suggestions that Facebook gives you. So you can't come up with nice ones that you want to use. The first one is the most important because that's the one that you can see. There is a second one, and I've been noticing the third one has been sort of disappearing. There is a section for you to write your about story, and this is probably one of the most important things that you want to make sure that you've done on your Facebook page. If you want to find that, it's in your about section. You can run events. You can set up your services, your shop, or both. In the olden days, which was quite recently, you couldn't do both, but you can actually set them up. All you need to do is go into your settings, go to templates and tabs, and you can actually add those features in there. I do encourage you to turn off the tabs that you're not using on your Facebook page because it doesn't look nice if you're sending people to something that's not there. You can also have offers, like run offers from there as well, remembering that Facebook makes their money from paid advertising. So yes, they are going to continually be asking you to boost your offers and asking you to do paid promotions. There is a community tab, which is really cool. So if people are tagging you in things, it'll collect all those photos of people that are mentioning or tagging you. So it's a great way for social proof. You can link to your groups, making it easy for people to find what groups you're in. Your inbox is there. So a lot of people don't know, but people message you on your personal profile and your inbox is separate and it's on your business page, unless you download the app. There is a messaging response area or an auto response section where you don't actually have to have a messenger bot. You can use Facebook's own inbuilt automated response. And my suggestion to you there would be to consider the customer journey and how people are at every stage when they send you an inquiry. There's page roles and administration, meaning that other people can have rights to your page. However, I do encourage people to have a social media responsibilities agreement in place with whoever you give access to on your page, because else people may have rights and may not know how to use all those features. They think they do, but they don't. And we have had pages lose vital parts of information on their page due to people not knowing what they've done, and we have not been able to recover it. You can obviously do paid ads and boosts, but yeah, boosts don't work, so don't do boosts. You'll hear that often. Tagging, you can also tag people, so you want to make sure that you're tagging in your URL setup. And there's also a jobs feature. So if you're wanting to look for more employees, like say, for example, you a cleaning company and you want to get more cleaners for your business, there is a feature there to go to the jobs section on Facebook and put a job out there. I do, however, encourage you to be exceptionally explicit about what it is, specific about what it is that you are looking for and what the requirements are, and say to them that they must email you rather than not message you back through Facebook. Because we've had situations where there's been thousands of time wasters and tire kickers putting in their job applications through there. And you can schedule. So obviously Facebook loves all things Facebook, and Facebook's trying to take over the world. So using their own publishing tool and scheduling it through Facebook is obviously the favored way for you to schedule your posts. So that is called, it is found in publishing tools. And then of course we've got groups. So groups can be public, they can be closed, they can be secret. Now the people in these groups, we call them members. There's a description for every group, which I encourage every person to go in and read when they go into a group. And there's rules and etiquette. And they're not Facebook rules, they're usually Hitler's rules, meaning whoever the person is that created that group, it's their rules. And they can be as crazy as they want to be with them. And some of you will know exactly what I mean. There are also categories. There's also admin responsibilities, so you can give different admin duties to people. You can run events inside there as well. There are sections for you to either save your files or even run training units, which is amazing. You can schedule in there too, and you can also direct message people through there. You can tag people. In fact, I encourage people to tag people in groups, because a while ago, which is now sort of like a year ago, Facebook, because of the algorithm, if somebody engaged in a group, you'd get the notification. That's gone now because people belong to so many groups. So now, unless you're actually engaging in that group, you're not going to get that notification. So if you're trying to talk to the administrator or the owner of the group or the coach in the group, or you're trying to talk to another member in the group, I encourage everybody just to always at them, because that way they're going to get the notification. But wait, there's more. With Facebook trying to take over the world, they've created Watch Party. So Watch Party is the ability to have a group of streaming videos for your members to comment on. I personally believe that because there was a drop in Facebook Live views, Facebook created Watch Party so we could take those lives and take that video content and put it across more places so that we could keep the reach up, so we could keep people using and engaging on Facebook. Again, that's just my personal sort of belief with it. There's Facebook stories, which is page stories, and then your personal stories, which is Facebook's take on Snapchat. So Facebook tried to buy Snapchat twice, in fact, and Snapchat went, nah. Facebook got upset and said, no worries, we're actually just going to do it ourselves. So they created their own one. And basically what it is it's only viewable for 24 hours. And it's for people who would rather watch rather than scroll and read. It gets taken up into Facebook Storyland, and it looks so pretty. You can put all the little GIFs in and little funny things in, and it creates it into a rolling video, which is only viewable for 24 hours. In saying that, Facebook is at the moment seeing whether or not they're actually going to keep it up there for 3 days as opposed to 24 hours. So they are sampling that at the moment. And the other thing is, the reason they wanted that was to try and get a younger audience on Facebook, and they have succeeded. Now there's Workplace. So Workplace is Facebook's sort of take on LinkedIn, where it's a communication tool that connects everyone in the workplace, so they can basically connect remotely. If they've got groups, chats, video calls, live video broadcasting, all working together in Workplace. And some of you may or may not know about that one. There's Marketplace, which is their take on Gumtree and on eBay, where location-based, you can buy, sell, and trade items in your local region as well. And just launched yesterday on trial is Messenger Rooms, because when everybody jumped onto Zoom and Zoom started crashing, Facebook went, we can create our own Zoom. We already do Messenger and we already do Messenger groups. So what we'll do is we'll have a Messenger Room, and you can get all roomy with your groups and have up to 50 members in there. And on top of that, you'll be able to screen share, which is really, really cool. And it's going to be free. So they are trialing it at the moment. Cool. Next messaging me on my watch. All right, cool. Let's have a look here. So before we do anything else, let me just check over here at the chats. How are we going with the chats? Any questions in there? Let's have a look. Sorry, because I've got this on. Okay, more than 8 times, definitely more. Yeah, people are wasting so much time on there, more than 8. I saw Messenger Rooms today. Yeah, cool. Excellent. All right, cool. Turn that off. All right, so some of you may have heard this before, but we talk about the fundamentals of Facebook. And seriously, if you do not do these, you will fail, end of story. And the funny thing is, most of it has nothing to do with Facebook, but it has everything to do with getting results on Facebook. So I hope that that makes sense. And I hope that if you do not do anything anything more today, it's these fundamentals. All right, cool. Let's have a look. Okay, so first you've got to know who you are. And you're going, oh, what a load of rubbish. This is probably the hardest one. And everyone goes, I get stuck in question one. And business coaches do this. You know, like, who are you? How do you want to be seen online? How do you want to have a public profile, a personal profile? Like, you know, like, you have to decide that before you go onto social media, because it can be so public and so overwhelming. But people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So deciding on whether or not you're going to have a public personal profile is important. I spoke to a gentleman today who booked a discovery call with me, and he said to me he does not want to be attached to his two businesses. And I said to him, well, it's kind of like cutting off your arms, because, you know, how are we going to get to know you and choose you over someone else? Because people buy people. And although social media is really cool, at the end of the day, people actually want to connect with people at a deeper, more meaningful level. People are more likely to support a person than they are to support a brand. So it is incredibly important that you decide on that level, or at least understand how you're going to set up your personal profile to be able to safely and effectively use it, which is really important. You've got to know your ideal client and intimately. So this is super important, because if you don't know them intimately and you just kind of know them, well, it's going to be difficult to please them, right? But you've got to know their likes, their needs, their wants, frustrations. You definitely have to know their objections. I didn't put that one in there, but it's super important that you know what their objections are, because we need to handle those objections in our marketing when we are on Facebook. So whatever it is that they're going to object to, we've got to be able to handle that in our key messaging online. But we do this so that we know how to talk to them, so we know how to connect with them, and we know how to solve their problem, and we basically know how to make them happy and please them. Now, number 3, and this is one of the most underrated things, honestly, like, if you do not do anything, just do this. Go and stalk your competitors. This is one of the most underutilized things. But if you go on Facebook and have a look at your competitors, or look at people that you aspire to be like on Facebook, you most certainly are going to learn a thing or two about what it is that you like or dislike, and what your point of difference is, so that you can bring your point of difference to the forefront, so that you can stand out over and above them. So if you're an accountant, and all the accountants out there are going, I'm an accountant, I do tax returns, you want to make sure that you go out there and you say something different, because we all know that accountants do tax returns. So, but why should I choose you? And this is why we go and we stalk our competitors, not so we can copy them, so we can make sure that we can create a standout Facebook page with standout content. So number 4 is we want branding consistency. And when we talk about branding, we talk about 2 things. And the one is the initial graphic. So, you know, we want to make sure we're talking about, you know, your fonts. You've got 2 fonts, and you've got, you know, no more than 3 colors, and maybe like black and white or gray. And, you know, I use Bitmojis, and I've got sort of a cartoon that I use. And that's your branding, like your graphic visual branding. And you want consistency on Facebook with that and across all platforms. But more importantly, what we also want is from here, and that is our key messaging. We want to make sure that there's key messaging across all our content, across our programming, across everything that we do, so that we can become memorable and not flaky or fluffy. Flake and fluff does not work on social media. Number 5 is another S word. So have a strategic plan. Instead of just going and shooting shit everywhere and hoping for something to stick, it's a case of going, how much money do I need to make? What can I do to make it? What am I going to do to get people to buy it? So what happens is everyone goes, I want to do this, and I'm just going to go get everything for free, and I'm just going to spit all over social media. And then they go, it's not working, and I'm adding value, and everybody told me to add value, but it's not working. I don't understand, because they haven't gone and worked out from the end, what are you hoping to achieve? What is your overall intention, your overall outcome, and what am I going to do to get people there? And R&R, and that's not rest and relaxation. It's about reviewing and responding. We do not go onto Facebook to go on to the next thing, go on to the next thing, go on to the next thing. We go on, we create content, and we go back in there to respond to everyone that has commented. I can be a bit bad with that because sometimes I get heat, but the ones that are not tire kickers, you most certainly want to be responding to them. And then you want to make sure that at the end of the week, you are reviewing what is working and what is not working. Because if it's not working, you do not want to be wasting your time. Do not waste your time doing something because someone told you that it would work. If it's not working, it has to change. So you have to review what it is that you're doing. But there's a couple other bonus R's, and that is you've got to be able to give and get reviews and referrals and recommendations, and you've got to maintain a good reputation online as well. So a couple of extra R's there, which is super important. And number 7, which is my personal favorite, get them the hell of Facebook. I absolutely love Facebook, but I'm not silly. If Facebook goes down or if it ends tomorrow, we don't want to keep our customers on there. We want to make sure that we have their email addresses. And Nick has said this, the number 1 rule of a website is to make sure that you get their email address. Well, on Facebook, it's not to sit and have a long-winded conversation about this. And believe it or not, I learned this trick on Tinder, believe it or not. Whereas if you have a conversation backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, the person is actually likely to go cold and not to take you seriously. However, if you say after 1 or 2 backwards and forwards, okay, let's have a phone call. Hey, let's go for a coffee. Hey, would you like more information? They take it a lot more seriously. And I learned that from Tinder, but yes, from a relationship coach. And number 8 is have a professional profile. People are going to stalk you. So if your process is to go and stalk someone else, believe it or not, everyone is stalking you too. And people just don't think they are. But you need to go stalk yourself on your phone, stalk yourself on your business page and say to yourself, if I did not know myself, if I was a stranger, how would I look? If I didn't know me and I didn't know what I do, how would I look if I scrolled through my personal profile, through my business page, through my group? What would it look like I do? Would I look professional? Would I look like I can charge for a high-priced item, or do I look flaky? How do I look? Because if you look dodgy, your competitors will get your clients. All right, so let's handle the A word, okay? Algorithm. Everybody freaks out about the algorithm because they go, oh, it's the algorithm, it's ever-changing algorithm. And it's like one of those things where everybody just, blames it on something. The poor old algorithm gets the short end of the stick. But I love the algorithm, okay? Because if we understand that the algorithm is just a prediction and that what you're putting in and what you're engaging in, and if you set up your profile right and whatever you give attention to, it's going to match you, okay? Just like Plenty of Fish, another online dating. It'll go, you like this, I'm going to match you and I'm going to start putting you in front of each other. So the algorithm does work. And this is exactly how the organic reach works. And yes, every now and then it changes, but it's kind of like your kids, they're kind of like the values are the same and every day they change, especially if you've got 3 teenage daughters like I do. They're up and down and all around, but at the end of the day, the values and everything are still the same. And as long as we understand that, it's good. Whoa, my little cursor's just jumping around here. Cool. So here it is in a nutshell. What is the algorithm? Well, it predicts and determines or chooses what goes on your news feed. So we actually have to pay attention to that algorithm. It's kind of like SEO in Google world, okay? So it scans all the input and content on Facebook. So believe it or not, it's the biggest stalker, Facebook, biggest stalker. And then it determines how interested you'd be in seeing that. And then it predicts what you'd best like. And then it considers how you would respond to it, engage. And this is why it's incredibly important that you use your fingers. And I always say the power of the finger. Go and like and comment and share, because what you show interest in is telling Facebook and the algorithm what it is that you like, and it will start matching you. So when you start putting in content and when you set up your page and you say what it is that you do, well, guess what? It's going to start matching you. Like will attract like, and suddenly it'll start coming up in your newsfeed. You can start training your newsfeed. So if you start showing interest in a fridge because you want to buy a fridge, guess what? All fridges will come up for the next 6 months. So if you're looking for a dog, even though you bought a dog, still dogs will keep coming up because you've been looking at dogs. So you want to make sure that you are conscious of what it is that you are putting in, constantly entering the right data into Facebook, because that is how it connects you. Tinder many years ago. Yep, for me it was 4 years ago too. So I met my partner on Tinder, so that's a true story. So it does work. Okay, cool. So social versus salesy. Okay, because everyone goes, I don't want to sell to everyone, and I don't want to be spammy, and I don't want to bother my friends and family and whatever. Well, if you know how to firstly post on your personal profile, and you know those privacy settings, you can decide who sees what, which is really cool. But really, if any of your family members don't like you talking and showing passion about what it is that you do, I mean, look at Nick, he's on Facebook all the time. He must have lost all his family and friends by now. No, just joking. But, you know, if he hasn't lost his family and friends, and if I haven't lost my family and friends, and if we're exuding passion about what it is that we do, and we come from a heart space of servicing, not selling, well, people are going to love that about us. And guess what? They'll either unfriend you, unfollow you, or block you, depending on that. And they're not your ideal clients anyway, and that's okay. But we shouldn't be overly salesy. There definitely needs to be a good mix, okay? And believe it or not, some people, I won't mention any names, but some people forget that they still need to sell from what they're doing. So we'll leave it at that one. Everyone's thinking it's me, right? But yeah, even though we're doing all this stuff, it has to end in a sale. If it doesn't, well, it's not working. So it needs to be social. It is social media. Okay. So that's the good news. The good news, it needs to be social. So it just needs to be like conversational. It doesn't have to be long form. It can be short form, which is really cool. Success stories. So these are all the S's. Share your success stories. People want to see the results that you get from other people. They don't want to be hearing from you all the time. They also want to be hearing from everyone else and seeing what everyone else is doing. Statistics. Some people have analytical minds and they love the statistics. And that's why today I started with the statistics at the beginning to handle any objections that potentially you may have as to whether or not Facebook is your platform of choice. That is why I entered those statistics at the beginning, to handle the B2B question, to handle the LinkedIn, all those other questions that people are thinking. That's why I did that. Then we want to share your services that you do. And so many people forget to share what their services are. They forget. So a lot of people don't even know what it is that they're selling or what they're offering. They just don't know. They just think that's cool. He keeps sharing good stuff. Don't actually know what he's offering. So it is important for us to share our services, but when we do it, to focus more on the solution that we solve for people. Okay. And we do that, of course, by sharing our expertise as well. And we want to show social proof. So for those of you who have been on Tinder dates before, you get to that date and the person's going, me. Yeah, they're not going to get a second date because it's just me, it's just them, it's no one else. But social proof is about sharing testimonials and reviews from other people about what they say about you, because people want to hear that from other people, which is cool. And remember, it's not selling if it's serving, which is a true story. So here we go. Create compelling content which converts. So what is the type of content that you should be putting out there that is going to get you fast and free results? So number one, it's about you. Okay, you are the biggest part of your unique selling point. They want to see you. They want to see your family. They want to see your partner. It makes you feel human. It makes you feel tangible. It makes it easier for people to connect with you. And what happens is people forget that they are growing their fan base and their friend base consistently. So you might have shared your about story last year, but since then you might have another 200 followers on your page and they haven't heard it. So we have to remember to bring that into our content, because people buy from people they know, like, and trust, but they want to connect with you at a deeper, more meaningful level. And that's how we develop a relationship. So share about you. They want to know about your why, your business backstory. You know, this particular story was a franchise. So if you either want to tell the franchise story or your own personal story, but you want to make sure that people want to hear about how you came up with the business name, how did you come up with your logo? Like, they want to hear about the fact that you're human, that you made mistakes along the way, that it wasn't all, you know, smell the roses. All right. And again, like I said, it's about your services. You need to be sharing your services, but you need to consider who your ideal client is, and you've got to create posts around that so that it can identify with the pain of your ideal client and it can solve their problem. And earlier I mentioned that, you know, with the subscription, when you're coming up with a subscription as well with an offer, it has to be a desirable offer, meaning it has to be desirable to the person who's purchasing it, else they will not reoccurringly do it. My dog's food is holistic. It is a 20 kg bag. They deliver it to my door so I don't have to drive and go carry it. And it's holistic, and it comes every 3 months, and they let me decide how often I want it to come. So it's a no-brainer for me then to subscribe to my dog food. And then they go, well, why don't you put the deworming tablets on, which come every 6 months, and we'll make sure every 6 months you will get it so he doesn't miss a subscription. So to me, desirable offer, great. That's how they sold it to me in their content. It's a done deal. It's a desirable offer. I will buy it. And it's to the right person. So the next one is credibility. So at the first slide today, you would have seen that I go, I'm a qualified and award-winning social media marketer and Facebook strategist. So originally self-taught, but I now do have my qualifications. So I do things backwards. But I went and got my qualifications because I wanted to be able to say that I'm not a generalist, I am a specialist, and so I can afford to charge what it is that I charge to get results. Now, people need to be sharing their credibility. They forget, if you've got 20 years experience, you need to say, I have 20 years experience. If you don't have 20 years experience, don't say you've got 1 month's experience. Say that you've recently just qualified and you were the top in your class. Say that you come from a family of electricians and you've grown up with electricians. So that is, you know, that's why you went on and became an electrician. Whatever your credibility is, if you're qualified, registered, experienced, use that credibility. Everyone has it. We need to be sharing that and showing that credibility as well. Social proof, we spoke about this earlier on, but you want to be sharing people's success story, repurposing testimonials, and doing shout outs to other people that you're working with as well. That gives you social proof as well. So for example, myself and Nick working, you know, alongside, that gives you social proof as well. So you want to make sure that you're doing that on Facebook. And getting testimonials is part of that. You know, I call them testimonials, but Facebook's actually changed it now, and they do call it recommendations. So, pleasure, pain, or humor, okay? A lot of marketers will say that they focus on the dream and the pleasure. A lot of people focus on the humor, and they're just humorous all the time. But humor ain't going to feed the family. You know, memes and constant jokes on your Facebook page, yes, they're going to get engagement, but they're not going to help you get a client. So we do just need to make sure that we have a good balance on our page of identifying with people's pain, selling them the pleasure and the dream, and then also have a bit of humor in there as well. But we do need to make sure that it is balanced. Community. So showing community is incredibly important, okay? Showing your involvement in the community. So I'm going to use an example of a plumber that I work with here on the Gold Coast. A plumber on the Gold Coast, there's actually quite a lot of plumbers, believe it or not, because I had the contract to go and train plumbers. And you know, looking at this plumber, and it's like, yep, okay, how do you stand out? What do you do? Yes, you've got a bit of credibility and stuff. But he actually plays squash twice a week in a squash club and is involved in that club. And once he started sharing the clubs, you know, that they've got ongoing memberships, I mean, this was before COVID, saying, hey, I'm playing squash, nice squash club, come and play squash here if you like. And he started doing it on his Facebook page at least once a week. Guess what? All the other members of the squash club started going onto his Facebook page. They actually remembered he was a plumber because when he pitched up there, they forgot that he was a plumber. And the squash club ended up employing him to actually do the contract there once he started showing and involving himself in the community. So any community, you know, I foster dogs on death row. So if you want to show that online, or they haven't done it in a while, that, you know, the last year we have done it. People are going to connect with you at a deeper level. If you're into dogs, if you're into cats, whatever it is, you just want to show community involvement, because that's also going to help you to expand your reach. Now, number 8 is involving your audience. So this is the one that I spoke about beforehand. And you want to involve your audience in your marketing. So it's a case of, sorry, your dinner's in the microwave. So you want to make sure that you involve your audience in your marketing. So you want to say to them, like, I'm getting signage on my car. Do you like this, or should I choose that? I'm about to write a blog at the moment. Would you like me to create content around this or content around that? Or do you want to run a Facebook poll and go, okay, who's going to, there's a Facebook poll, please poll, do you like this or do you like that? Because again, it's inviting people to connect and showing that you are also interested in what it is that they're interested in. And again, we spoke about your offers, and offers are obviously specials, referral programs, competitions, and believe it or not, you can run organic competitions successfully. So competitions on Facebook without paying for it. You've just got to follow the guidelines, and believe it or not, they've actually relaxed the guidelines on that, which is super cool. And then, of course, it needs to be trendy and seasonal. So right now, Mother's Day is coming up. And what I find quite surprising is people are creating offers around Mother's Day right now. And I think it's a couple of weeks away. I don't even know when it is, but it's a couple of weeks away. But the problem is the postage right now, they're probably not going to get it because there's a back in postage. And I actually discovered that through my coffee pods people who said to me, like, if you want to make any changes to your subscription and to your coffee pods, you're going to have to let us know now because there's actually the postage is slowed down with COVID. So we also need to make sure that if we do have, trending and seasonal, that we do it timely. We don't go the night before on Facebook and go, hey, why don't you buy a voucher for Father's Day? Because chances are they've already bought something for Father's Day and you've come in too late. So you do want to kind of make sure that you're talking about things that are trendy and seasonal, and that you can build up and bring their awareness to it. And I normally say it's about 6 weeks, but because if it's a postage thing at the moment, I'd extend that to about 8 weeks. So we're constantly pointing people towards those things that are trending or seasonal. What you can do though, the little tip for that one is you can go in and this is something you can outsource and get your VA to go and put in those seasonal things like Anzac Day and schedule that into Facebook a year in advance. So we will go in and schedule in Christmas, Anzac Day, Mother's Day, and all those, and do those out for the year. So even if you did get sick or forgot to do some content, at least those things would be in there, which would be really cool. And number 11 is pitching. And, some people go, yep, I like a pitch. Some people don't like a pitch. But, my pitch is, I empower business owners with the skills and strategy to successfully manage their own profiles, to get clients, create opportunities, and grow their business. And that is a sentence that I lead with all the time. And whenever I respond to somebody on Facebook, I use that. But what has happened is I have now established myself as the go-to person for that. And it becomes memorable. So in the olden days, it would be your elevator pitch, which you would do at your elevator pitch when you went to a networking group. On Facebook, you have to have pitches ready to go. So if somebody's asking for your service, and I'm going to show you how this works, you want to make sure that you can effectively communicate what you do in a sentence and in the written word. And it's not fluffy, it's not confusing, and people know exactly what it is that you do. Okay, so when you structure a post, this is the structure that I follow, like seriously. The first 2 lines are the most important, and they have to stop the right person from scrolling. So it has to be a soapy, dramatic headline that stops the right person in their socks. Now, it really annoys the crap out of me and anybody else on Facebook when people go ... and because they want you to push see more. Okay, they're trying to trick you to click it, to open it, to read it. No one likes to be tricked. Just put a captivating headline that is like in the first 2 lines that's going to stop the right person. And I normally say non-negotiables are the best. So I spoke to a lady earlier today. She's doing a Mother's Day thing. She's offering a book for over 50-year-olds. And I said to her, say, are you looking, is your mother over 50 and looking to feel great this Mother's Day? Because it's going to stop someone with a mother that's over 50. It's going to stop and get them to click on it. So make sure that if it's non-negotiable, so for example, if it's a location-based thing and it's on the Gold Coast, are you on the Gold Coast looking to buy a bicycle? Okay, non-negotiables in the sentence. Looking to get a good deal on a bicycle. You want to make sure the first 2 lines are the most important. You want to connect them. The second sentence, so even if you just did 4 sentences, second sentence is connect with and identify their pain point. So are you feeling, stressed and overwhelmed? Or is COVID getting to you at the moment, being stuck at home because the gyms are closed, you can't get out and exercise? And then number 3 is solve their problem, showing your expertise or social proof and credibility. Well, you could come, buy this bicycle, go out, get some fresh air, get your mind off COVID, and get fit and stay fit and healthy and sane during COVID. And then your last one is a call to action. So people always stop it there because they think that a call to action is salesy, and it doesn't have to be. It just basically, you need to make it easy. So if the offer expires in a certain time, you have to let them know it expires in a certain It can literally just be a soft something that requires people to take action. Okay. So Facebook Lives, because video marketing, of course, is super important. Let's just see, are there any other comments? I could always go to the chat box. Any comments here? Can I ask you? Let's have a look here. Sorry, yeah, the slides are done. I can't do that unless it's on a mobile. It's a Facebook Notes or post or both. Facebook Notes or posts or both. Not sure about that question, Martin, if you want to just elaborate. Can I ask, can you make a poll of the business page or only on group pages? So great question. A poll on your business page, you can poll 2 things only. However, in a group, you can poll heaps, which is really weird, but it's really cool for groups. But on a business page, you can only poll 2 things. Okay, Martin, thank you. Facebook, no. So on your page in Facebook, you go to your About section. So if you go to the About tab on your Facebook page and you look to the right, if you're on a desktop, it'll say Story. There's a space for you to put in a landscape picture and to put in your story. And I do encourage you to put in not just your business story, but start with the first 3 to 5 sentences of hi, and introduce yourself and tell your story, and then go into, hey, this is my business, this is why I do what I do, this is what I'm passionate about. And then in the last one, these are our services and this is how you can contact us. So that's how you access it on your business page. On your personal profile, it is personal profile, About section, details about you, about you. All right, cool. All right, so Facebook Lives. I don't know if you've heard about it. A lot of business coaches go, oh, if you want to grow your Facebook page, do a Facebook Live every day for 30 days and you will grow your Facebook page and you'll make sales and you'll live happily ever after. Well, the answer is hell no, because this can actually make or break your online relationship and you can actually destroy your branding. Okay, at the end of the day, number 1 is you have to have intention, or the S word is strategy. So if you're going to do Facebook Lives every single day, what is the financial gain of you doing that at the end? Now, your financial gain, it could be catching email addresses, it could be selling them into a program, it could be getting them into a discovery call. But what is that? You have to have that intention at the end, or else there's no purpose, okay, no point. Secondly, you've got to make sure that you build a relationship with your audience. So you have to know all those fundamentals. If you don't have all those fundamentals in place and you haven't done a stalk and you don't know your avatar, there's no real point, okay? Also, who's on your page? Like if you're selling dog toys and you've got people that have asthma and allergies on your page because they're your families and friends and they belong to an asthma and allergy group and they don't even have a dog, then it doesn't matter how good your content is or how good your lives are on that page, it's just not going to work. Number 3 is it's got to come across as being genuine. So, I really struggle with Facebook Lives because I don't like wearing clothes. It sounds weird, but I like wearing my gym clothes. I don't really like putting on makeup. It really bothers me. But at the end of the day, people kind of know that this is how I am now, and that's super cool. I scrub up every now and then. But number 4, and this is one of the most important ones, is that it has to be worth the watch. If someone takes the time to click on you and watch you, and you bore the crap out of them, and you go, I don't know why I'm here, and they're looking up your nose, and it's absolutely the biggest waste of time, they will never click on you again, which will destroy your engagement, destroy your reach, will destroy everything. So, people, Facebook Lives do not have to be a part of your strategy. I've got clients where it's not part of their strategy. And not everyone wants to do it. There's some introverts on here right now are probably crawling under the seat because they do not want to do Facebook Lives. And that's okay. We can come up with other video marketing strategies for you. So number 5 is subtitles. I don't know if you've seen that Facebook has a new face. So for some of you, you might have gotten the opportunity to click over and experiment or use that new face. And I did it the other day by doing a Facebook Live and a Facebook Live using the new Facebook look. And guess what? There's a little icon that you can tick, which says subtitles. And I could not believe it. I just thought, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that I could tick or untick that little feature, but you can. So in the new feature, make sure that you go through it and read it. And yes, it looks a bit confusing and weird, but just take your time. It's okay. And have a look. And there's a little box that you tick and subtitles go there. And they got my South African Australian, which was really weird because I've used Otto for Zoom and I've used a couple of other ones. And I still need someone to go in and edit it. So keep your eyes out for that. But subtitles are super important because a lot of people are multitasking. They could be cooking dinner or doing something else and they can't watch or listen. So they need to be reading, which is important. Number 6 is just follow the post structure that I spoke about beforehand, meaning that don't just do a live and say nothing above. You have to follow that post structure. They want to know at the end, they're going to want to know how to contact you. At the beginning, they're going to need to be evoked. They're going to need their curiosity evoked enough for them to stop and click in. So do not say nothing. Those first 2 lines are super important. Why should they click in? Like what's in it for them? Number 7, point people to the live beforehand. So you can do this a couple of ways. You can either set up a Facebook event. So you could set up a Facebook reoccurring event and point people to the live. So, you know, Nick's kind of adapted now and he's doing that now where, you know, it's a Facebook event and then he can share it out on Facebook as well and let everybody know that the live is coming. People can register, they can come on, but that's going to get more people in there. And of course, having all that other software to do that as well, like Zoom registration link is really important. So people can register for that so they can be sent a reminder either through Meetup or Eventbrite or through Zoom or through your own email marketing system. So it does depend on what you are using. And of course, keep that process simple. But that way you can point people to the live. Second, another way to do it is to be consistent. So showing up at the same time all the time, which is really cool. So for example, I worked with a life coach who showed up every single Friday night at 7 o'clock for half an hour to answer questions with relationships. And everybody knew that she was on and she built a following by consistently being up on there all the time. And of course, reminding people that they're there. And the other thing now is that you can schedule lives in Facebook. So you can go into Facebook and 24 hours beforehand, you can schedule the live. And what will happen is for the whole 24 hours beforehand, the live is sitting there and there's a little countdown timer and it actually says get a reminder. So you can click on it because how many people forget that a live's going to go on? Like you just forget if you haven't got registration software, you're just going to forget that the live is on and you're going to miss that. You want to make sure that you're scheduling those lives and that you get those reminders and all those people will get those reminders. So when you go live, they can click on. So it's about pointing more people to that. Number 8 is repurpose the crap out of it. I hate doing a million things and redoing things. Take something that's really good and repurpose it. So if it's a great Facebook Live, think about where you can put it. So right now, Nick has got his minions behind him and they are all taking this right now and they're putting it into watch parties on Facebook so we can reach a wider audience. Okay, so he's taking it, creating it as a watch party so more people can come in and watch it. But you could send it out in your database. You could put it in a newsletter. If it's great content, you could even sell it as a low-priced offer. You could put it on another social media platform. You could have it turned into a blog. You could put it together as a program or series. You could offer as a giveaway or a sale. Any other questions there? I don't see any other flashing. So I'd imagine that I'm talking lots and everyone's taking heaps of notes, which is really good. All right, cool. So any questions, guys, please feel free to write in before. So here we go from Debbie. With a watch party, do questions appear everywhere or just the original? Are you talking about the comments? So if somebody is asking a question, yep, cool. Okay, so the same thing would follow, and this is why it's important to have a call to action in your live, because you would say to them, comment below. I also always say, please at me, because if you now have gone and posted this watch party in 3 other groups, if they just go and comment, you may or may not get that notification, which means you can't respond, and that's a potential lead lost. So I always train people on how I want them to respond. Please could you at Chantal Gerardy so I get that notification and can go back in and answer that question. Okay, cool. All right, so here's a little bit of your review and insights. So, okay, I want you guys to be a little bit brave here, and I want you to go in and, you know, comment in the chat box. Who of you check your insights every 7 days, 28 days, or answer what are insights? Let's be honest with that, and just put it in the chat box below just to let us know if you are, I can't get my cursor back. No worries, let's have a look. Nigel, you can always go back and watch these lives inside Business Owner Smashing It Online. Okay, so reviews and insights. So here we go. So guys, be brave, put it in there and let us know if you have never even seen this before, okay? But with your insights, you can actually check back, I think it's a year. A year you can actually have a look at your insights. But mostly the 2 features that are there are 7 days or 28 days. So for me, I literally go in, it takes me 5 minutes. I'm that quick on it now. But part of your ongoing strategy to make sure that it is working for you is making sure that you go in and review your insights, okay? So every 7 or 28 days, you go in and have a look. And this over here is really cool because this is actions on page. You can have a look and see who's clicking through to your website, who's clicking through on your phone, and who's actually looking at your action button clicks. So for this particular client over here, their phone number isn't on there. The action button click is to actually book an appointment. So this client can actually see when people are clicking through their website, when they're actually clicking through to book appointments online. And then you can actually see whether or not they're following through or not. Because if they're not following through, there may be an error with your funnel, like your customer journey, with your online booking system, or even with your messaging. Okay, let's have a look here. So there's your overview. You know, there's a whole bunch of here which are like important, not so important, but my favorites are the overview, the first one that you go to. That is the most important, like literally go through and just look at that each week and see how you're progressing, and also then analyze or think about why it's changed from last week or the last 28 days. But I love, my couple of my favorites are the overview, the actions on page, videos. If you're running events, most certainly you need to be looking at that events feature. And people, so this particular one on the left-hand side here is showing you people, and then posts. And if you've got a shop, obviously you want to be looking at your shop as well. So you want to go in here and you want to have a look at when people are engaging, what time of day. Just remembering, Facebook can only give you insights on what you're inputting. So if you go in at the same time every day and post, it will only give you insights on that, because so it may be an idea to go in and sporadically try a few different things to see what's working or not working. Okay, let's have a look. There's also pages to watch. So I bet you didn't know this. You can go and stalk other people's pages. So at the bottom, you can go pages to watch. They do not know it's happening, but you can go and see and what are their top performing posts and how many likes they're getting, and it compares to you as well. And in here, you can have a look as well. This is a bit of the overview. And here, this is your people. So your fans, your followers, the people you are reaching, and people that are actually engaging, and make sure that it is actually your customer avatar. So yeah, cool. So how do leads actually happen? Okay, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Stay with me. But how do leads actually happen on Facebook? So on your personal profile, on your business page, or in relevant groups. And I highlighted that because if they're not relevant, you're wasting your time in there. Okay, there has to be potential in there, or it's a waste of time. And there is etiquette and there are rules, and you do have to follow them. Else it's considered spamming and it will not work. But in your personal profile or your business page or in relevant groups, you want to be posting your compelling content, which we spoke about beforehand. Okay. And when you post compelling content, you're going to get likes, you're going to get shares, you're going to get comments, you're going to get inquiries. And guess what? You have to respond. And you've got to pay attention to who those people are. And then you've got to get them the hello Facebook. So either onto a call or into your database, and you've got to do it ethically. Ethically, very important. And then you have to follow up. So number 2 is comment and engage in relevant groups. And again, following the right rules. Okay, so in groups, there are people that are looking for help. So for example, a person may go, hey, listen, I'm looking for help to grow my business and I've got no marketing budget. And somebody who knows me, like a raving fan or a cheerleader, will go, hey, at Chantal Gerardy. And I've got to be able to notice that in a notification and then go in and respond. And my goal then is to get them off. So there's my little pitch. I empower business owners, how to manage their own profiles. You can check out how I've helped other people. If you'd like more information, book a call. We want to get them off. And if they've seen you, seen your content, and I always say that if you've touched them in their special places, guess what? They will book that call because you're being consistent online. And the third one is collaborations. So for example, myself and Nick right now, this is a collaboration. We have the same ideal clients. We're not in competition with each other. We can do a joint venture. We can do lives on each other's pages. We can do guest interviews, guest posting. Because if you have the same audience and you're not in competition, there's an opportunity there for both of you. But your call to action is vital in collaborations. The amount of people right now that are doing podcasts, which is a collaboration and a great way for you to grow your personal and business branding. Well, guess what? It's a social media platform. You still have to grow that podcast. You've still got to get the right people on there. And guess what? You still got to sell something at the end. So what is your call to action? And at the end, it's got to be easy for people to be able to find you. So if anyone has any questions with regards to the how to get those free leads, like how leads actually happen on Facebook, I'll be more than happy to answer that for you. Oh, I've got really weird things happening here. Let's have a look here. Any other questions there?
I have got one that's come through on Facebook. I'm not 100% sure, but try. It's from John Huckstep. Says, can your posts be detrimental to other social media flatworms? And if so, how do you avoid it? So maybe other social media groups or something like that.
Can your content be?
Can your posts be detrimental to other social media profiles or pages, I guess? And how do you avoid it? So maybe that's about, you know, if you're posting the same thing sort of on
okay, cool. Yep. Pages. Excellent. So I always say that it's important to respect each platform. Okay, if you follow the rules of Google, if you follow, why do I have a red line everywhere? Oh my gosh, I'm like scribbling all over my stuff. It's the nighttime. Okay, so when it comes to social media platforms, we have to respect the platforms. So if you do everything right by Google and tickle Google's boxes, then you will come up higher. If you do all the right things by Facebook, you'll come up higher. If you do the right things by LinkedIn, you'll come up higher. If you do the right thing by Instagram, you'll come up higher. And it's exactly the same with the audience. If you do the right thing by the audience in LinkedIn and talk the right language and have the right offer, the right thing will happen. So yes, by all means, your Facebook content that you have on your Facebook page, yes, some of it may be relevant to Instagram. So for Instagram, it's going to be all about the pictures and the hashtags. If it's relevant to LinkedIn, it's going to show your expertise, and it's going to have it's going to be short form because it's a lot shorter. The hashtags are more topical. No, sorry, less topical and more like category based. They're actually quite boring. So you want to make sure that whatever content you do take, and yes, if you copy paste it and put it elsewhere, that's okay. But you have to make sure that it respects that platform. So it respects the audience that's viewing it. The offer is the right offer. The hashtags are the right hashtags and the right use of the hashtags. The images are the right images. So yes, by all means, you can copy it there, but you do need to still go in and tweak it to make sure that it does tick their boxes and follow their guidelines. Because if it doesn't, so for example, all those people who post on Instagram and then just allow it to come across to Facebook, that's actually stunting the algorithm in Facebook, regardless of the fact that Facebook owns Instagram now. Hashtags are not a Facebook thing. Facebook is about stories, and it's about words and language, and that's how we search. Instagram is about topical trending hashtags, and that's how we search as hashtags. So you would have to go into Facebook and remove those hashtags and you would have to generally create a longer content and more social content in Facebook because it is a little bit more social. Okay. Which is better, group or pages? Should I have both? Oh my gosh, Nikki, that is like a ginormous question to ask. And if you like, I'm happy to discuss that a little bit further through a discovery call. So if you want to jump onto my website and book a call with me, I'll go into that with you. The more groups and pages you have, the more work you have. It is so much more work. Like if you think one page is hard, try 2 or 3 groups, it's even worse. So it forms part of your income producing strategy. It depends on what your business is. It depends on how you want to run that funnel. It depends on how you want to nurture those people. For me, a lot of people have public groups and they nurture people through public groups into paid platforms. I actually go against the grain. I don't have a public group that I feed into my paid platforms. I actually just use Facebook and feed them straight into a monetized Facebook group, which people have to pay to be in that group to get my content. So, you know, I've done things differently, but guess what? It's working. So it's not one size fits all. It's not cookie cutter. So unfortunately, if you do those little 3-day, 5-day challenges where they can show you how to monetize your group and everyone's doing the same thing and following the same formula, well, it doesn't. It works differently for each business and for each audience, and also for how much time you have to spend on it. If you don't have a lot of time, I wouldn't be encouraging you to have 3 different groups and trying to funnel and send everyone everywhere. I spoke to a lady the other day, 5 groups. And I said, well, how do you make your money? And she said, well, I don't. I do this and I do this and I add value and I give people input. And I went, well, how do you make your money? Well, I don't. I was like, okay, no strategy. So good news is you most certainly have to have a page. You have to have a page. Like a page is public. You have to have a page. You got to tick the boxes. But whether or not you'd have a group's another story. We'd have to go in and see if that forms part of your strategy. Okay, last question, and then Nick's going to choose a winner. Am I still writing like red lines everywhere? It's just so weird. Okay.
Hey, Chantal?
Yes. Let's have a look.
Could you explain, Chantal, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you explain what's on the screen right now?
Winner, chicken dinner.
You've got the 14-day Facebook content.
Yep, that's what we're winning today.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So this is what the winner is going to win today. So Chantal, is there a rule regarding pictures with text not being as effective as text outside the picture in a post? Okay, so Chris, there is a tool, and for the life of me, I've gone blank. It is the evening. Actually, it is Facebook's tool. It's Facebook. I'll get it for you, and I will post it underneath the video when we're finished. There is a tool where you can see if you're doing Facebook advertising, yes, your text has to be minimal. So in Facebook advertising, your text has to be minimal. And Facebook's got its own tool where you can actually upload the image and it will tell you if it's yes, no, or maybe. But with regards to just posting content, organic content, no, it isn't, which is great. So you can put as many words as you like in there as possible. But branding consistency is important. So yes, I don't know how Nick is choosing the winner. Yeah, sorry. Was there another question, or was that you, Nick?
No, the next great was huge organic content. Just how to
yeah, okay, excellent. All right, so winner, chicken dinner. So what is on the screen right now is this is what we're giving away tonight. Nick said, what are we giving away? And I said, well, I'll give away my 14-day Facebook content program. And we actually just run that in person recently. And our winner is actually on this call right now. So Daryl Bancroft, he won the 14-day Facebook content challenge that we recently just ran. So well done to him. So go and stalk his page out for sure. But I'm giving away the email series of that, as well as access to my VIP classroom. So this is the private Facebook group that I have where we run weekly training where your questions get answered. Weekly training on a Monday at 1 o'clock. It's $97 a month, and we're giving away a year's subscription into that group. So a really, 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 really cool prize. And Nick has a fun way to choose who that winner is.
I have indeed. So what we'll do is we'll stop your screen share and we'll whip over to my screen share.
So I'll thank you, Tamara, for sharing that for us. And also, while Nick is doing that, carry on, Nick. For those of you who do want to book a call, please go onto my website, chantalgerardy.com.au. And if you don't want to book a call, but you do want up-to-date information I would love it if you could subscribe. You'll immediately go in a nurture sequence where we will be giving you out, I think like email 2 is how the whole Facebook funnel works. So, and how to grow your page, like 9 ways to grow your page without paying for ads. So make sure you subscribe on the website. You also get all our webinars as well. All right, thanks, Nick.
All right, well, let's share this tool here. Can everybody see the spinning wheel?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. So what we have in here are the names of people that participated here tonight, that were here tonight. So this one is called, this is a good app actually. So if you're running draws and things on your webinars, this one's called wheelofnames.com. And all you do is you just paste all the names into the right-hand side, and then we click spin the wheel. Now we do have a rule about this, is that the people who are here are the ones that win. So if you've disappeared early, you don't get to win it. So if the person's not here, we'll just draw it again. Does that sound fair?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. All right. So to spin it, we're just going to tap it in the middle. So Chantal, you just press the middle here. I did that for you.
Goodness, because I'm just doing red lines everywhere.
And
that was so close.
that would be Nikki Bruce. Now, is Nikki still here? Just
Yeah.
Yes, she is. Awesome. Excellent. So what prize was that, Chantal?
So 14-day Facebook content program. So every day for 14 days, they will be getting an email of me giving them an instruction of what to do on Facebook to get more engagement. And then on top of it, we've given, as I said, a whole year's worth of weekly group training in my mastermind group. So that is on a Monday at 1 o'clock, where you can ask a question, show up or not show up, but we answer the questions and those recordings get placed in there as well, which is really, really, really cool. So only my clients get access to that. Else, alternatively, it is $97 a month to become part of that group.
Excellent. And you got one more prize, have you?
No, that was it. The 2 prizes got it at one person. I know.
Look at that. Hey, this is scarcity, isn't it? Which is great. All right.
That was one off.
All right. I'll just share the main screen again. And I think it is that one there. All right.
I'm just not allowed to do lots today in this thing.
Too many screens happening. All right. And for those of you that want more of this and want to keep in touch, we have a membership portal there which you are welcome to join. In that membership site, there's a range of things, including for those that have got WordPress websites. We have a whole lot of WordPress video tutorials. So if you wonder how to upload an image, how to write a post, all that sort of thing, and you know, if you've been handed over a website or you're just starting, it's a great place to get some easy, quick tutorial videos. None of them are any longer than 2 or 3 minutes, so they are very quick. The other thing that we pop into that membership portal as well are the apps that you saw at the beginning, plus a lot of the ones that we've done right back over the past 2 years. There and there with easy access for you to go and find. We've got a search facility in there, so if you think, what was that free images app that we talked about? You can just click on images and up they'll all come. So it's really quick, it's really simple, it's really easy. So because we're still building this out and we're really just launching it at the moment, if you join today, you get it for $1 for the month. And after that, it's $27 a month. You can come and go at any time you like. This is an introductory rate of 27. It will be going up to 47 once we've got it fully finished and populated. So would love you to be there, and we will be having Q&A times and things like that as well too. So go and have a look at it, and it'd be great to have you in there. Other than that, we also have tomorrow morning, if you want to mark in your diary, tomorrow, every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. we have a Q&A session, the Positive Business Online Q&A. That's on Zoom, same sort of format. It's no agenda. You can just come in, ask a question, bring an issue, look for a recommendation for an app or whatever. And I can't guarantee we'll have the answer, but we will certainly have a discussion and we'll point you in the right direction to help you. And generally people walk away with that from some idea. So it is an open forum. Anyone's welcome to join. And I'm hoping that we might chat pop the link into chat. If not, just go onto Facebook, onto Business Owners Smashing It Online, join there, and we will post the link there. Actually, JM has just put it into the chat box now, so if you click on that, you can come register and come and join us 10 o'clock tomorrow. So that's it for this evening. That is Business Owners Smashing It Online live on Facebook, sorry, live on Zoom. We actually forgot to stream it on Facebook today, which we normally do, so I'll upload the video there tomorrow so that if you missed it or you had to leave early, then you can view it there. So thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks, Chantal, for a absolutely information-packed session. Someone said this is the best webinar they've ever been on, so obviously hit the button there or the nail on the head. So thanks for sharing with us tonight, Chantal. I know you're not a night person, but you did fantastically.
Thanks. I found my words in the end.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, sorry, I meant to give you the link for this here as well. If you want to join the membership site, it's posbiz.in/join. So again, thanks everyone for showing up tonight. And next week, same time, same place. And we have someone by the name of Steph. I can never pronounce her last name. What's her last name?
Oh, I have no idea. Let's call her Steph Z.
Steph Z. She's probably watching this. She's going to kill me. So Steph Z is going to be serving with us.
We just branded her.
I've just seen her topic come in, and it's all about sort of creating funnels, branding. So what is it? It's the top 5 psychology-based and strategy-driven brand hacks to effortlessly connect and convert your audience at whatever price you want. So that's next week with Steph Z. She's going to kill me. So she's awesome, actually. So we've had some discussions with her. So well worth coming along to as well too. So everyone, have a great night. Thanks, Chantal. Thanks everyone for showing up, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast. You can also find me on social media and online. Just search for Business Owners Smashing It Online and Nick Cree, spelled Nickcree, all one word. If you like this and want to hear more, subscribe now. Until next time, don't be a slave to your business. Get your business working for you.